everybody, I'm Tara from Crooked Row, and today I have lots and lots of pruning to do. I am actually so behind. I usually prune in January. Sometimes it goes into February, but we have so many trees. I just don't know if I'm gonna get to it all this year, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles. But I'm gonna try to knock some of it out today. But I thought I'd make a video because I've made tons of videos on pruning and what the process that we go through. I give suggested videos to watch and things like that. But today I kind of wanted to go over what you really should do before you prune. So here are the items that you're going to need. So I have a Japanese pruning saw that I use. I also use, these are Felco pruners. I also suggest Corona pruners. Use anything you have. Just make sure they're very sharp. And so with these, I'm getting ready to show, like, I'm gonna go ahead and sharpen these with you. Typically, you wanna clean between every single tree, even if it's the same kind of tree. You wanna clean your blades, and you wanna use alcohol. I have no alcohol in the house right now, but I've gotta get some of this pruning done. But I highly suggest that or running in the house and washing it with hot soapy water, but alcohol is really better. But the first thing that you wanna start off with is extremely sharp pruners. So I'm going to show you how I sharpen my pruners. Okay, first things first, you can see these are kind of dirty. You can see that rust is, I actually keep mine super clean after every time I use them. These actually go in the house with me. I don't leave them out here in the greenhouse. So even the humidity's in check. I have no idea why it still turns these colors. But there are two sides to your blade. This is the slanted or angled edge that's hitting this other metal piece right here, and this is the flat one. So how do you know when these are sharp? Well, as you can see, there is markings on this angled part, and as you go through, and I'll show you how I do this, it will become a clean, bright edge. Now, a lot of people, they kind of do a wrong angle. What I try to do is, I don't know if you can see this or not, but I try to meet the actual slanted edge really well. And what I do is, I stay at that slanted edge, and then I press really hard. I actually just hurt my finger. But I press really hard at that slant, and I do this about 20 or 30 times. Okay, that's about 20 times, and you can, I don't know if you can actually see this in the camera, but it's already cleaner. And you can kind of feel it too. And when you are happy with that edge, you just want super good, clean cuts on your trees or your bushes. Anything that you're gonna prune, you just want good, nice cuts. And you even wanna make sure that that tip is really well sharp. The whole thing should be sharp. And then on the flat side, you just wanna hold it steady. Hold it steady and flat with just a slight tilt. It is so slight. And you really only need to do that to kind of clean up what was done on the previous side. And it feels very sharp. Now, a lot of people will leave this side alone. The only thing I like to do is kind of clean this side a little with the file. And just make sure that as this is passing through, it's not really dirty. You don't really have to do anything with it, because really, if you think about it, it is just holding the branch so that this can. Now, if you have any actual dents in your blade, you are gonna have to either file those out or buy a new blade. You really should always have good, sharp pruners. So I'm going to clean these off really well, and then I'm gonna go get started. here is the big leaf or the macrophylla hydrangea. They get the big, gorgeous pink blooms on them. And some people say that after they bloom, you should clip them off. It's never really mattered for us. So what I want to do first is go through here, and you have a really good example here of a dead cane or branch. And so how you can see that too is you scrape the wood with your thumb or your pruners, and if it is brown underneath, like this one, oop, I just hit the camera. Like that one is brown, or like you can see the brownness right there. See that? Then that's a dead branch, and you can just go ahead and prune that out. For the ones that are blossoming, you can see, oh, look at this big gorgeous bud. So I'm just going to, if the flower is here, I'm just going to prune back to this big, beautiful bud. But you'll want to be a little bit careful with these, because since they do bloom on old wood, if you go in and just hack away like I do to the other types of hydrangeas, because they grow on new wood. So when we say new and old wood, that means that it's second year or older wood. So if you're just going in because you want to just reduce the size, try to reduce it with the old wood pruning first and see if that's enough. If it isn't, please only reduce by 1/3 because you'll kill your bush. So I'm gonna get started. So as you can see, just removing the dead wood has substantially cleared this bush out. And so now I'm going to go ahead and bring each of these flowers down to a healthy bud. So I'm going to get to that. This just came off of one bush. It's amazing how much dead wood there is. Okay, now we have a perfectly pruned macrophylla bush, and I'm going to move on to the next one. Pop into the greenhouse because it is so windy outside right now. I pruned 40 fruit trees and the macrophylla hydrangeas. There is so much pruning to do on a farm, it's crazy, but it is actually really rewarding, and we are inching closer and closer to spring. I absolutely love it. So it's nice to be outside even though it's windy and a little bit cold. But so today was just a big pruning day. I want to encourage you to get outside and prune, 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 because if we can prune, anybody can. Thanks. Bye.